Hi, everybody. So glad to have you here. And I'm going to adjust this screen as much as I can. But I'm glad that you're here today. And, anybody that know me, they know that if I interrupt my Sabbath day to go live, then it really must be something that is deeply, deeply, deeply on my heart, for me to break my time spent with the Lord, to come on and talk to you. But I thought it was very important. Ever since I posted my video of my concert after I got finished ministering in dance, I felt a real sense of responsibility in hearing all of the people that came on saying that, actually I asked you to tag whether or not you felt like it was dream time, and you said yes. And I was overwhelmed at over 80,000 people hitting that Facebook comment box saying that it was dream time. And so it made me feel a very deep sense of responsibility to do whatever I can to help you get to that dream. And first of all, I want to say that anything is possible. And that's the first thing that you have to settle in your heart, in your spirit. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody thinks, you have to settle it in your heart that anything is possible. And I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. And I think many times we have a tendency to respond to ourselves in a negative way, which causes us to lose integrity. And when we lose integrity, and I know many of you are commenting on the side, but I'm not really looking at the comments because I don't want it to break my focus on what it is I really feel led to say. So please forgive me if I don't acknowledge you, or if I don't, say, hey, Sharon, hey, Carolyn, I came on today really, really focused about the people that are desperate to get to their destiny. And I realized that integrity means something different. And a friend of mine was sharing that with me, very powerful prophet, and he was talking to me about integrity and how we sometimes think that integrity means if I give my word that I'm going to do something, I do it. But integrity has a broader scope. Its foundation is much wider. And if we are not on that foundation that is wide enough to hold the dream that you're trying to accomplish, then you'll keep falling off. And I know I just said something right there. You'll keep falling off. You'll keep falling off. Or Dr. Bynum, why am I falling off? Why it seems like I'm right in the center of what I believe or what I feel, and then all of a sudden I just feel like I fall off the wagon, and I lose interest, or I get lethargic about my dream. And that is because your integrity is not broad enough. And your integrity is not just what you say you will do as it relates to other people. Your integrity is what you establish about yourself, where you're trying to go, and how you feel to the best of your knowledge that you're going to get there. And then you keep your own word. And then there's something how we expect for God to keep his word to us. But if you keep breaking your word to yourself, then what word is God obligated to keep? Because yesterday you were this person, and then today you're somebody else. Yesterday you wanted the dream, and today you don't feel like getting off the couch. And I know what I'm talking about, because I've had those same moments, and in me retraining myself retraining myself and getting out of bad habits. And some of the worst habits are developed when you're growing up. Family structure, flying by the seat of your pants, just, come see, come sigh, and wherever it flops, then you know what? I was lucky. That was good, and then when we have a celebratory moment, we end up staying in that moment too long celebrating and not getting back to work. Do you know what I did the next day after the concert? I went back to Alvin Ailey to class. That's what I did. You don't have time to lavish in the last thing that you've done, because the last thing that you've done is not your goal. It's not the destiny, it's the process. It's the journey. And so you can't stop in the journey and start celebrating like you've accomplished something. You've made a step, and that's to be commended. And there's a difference between commending yourselves and going into this whole celebration thing like you done made it, like you've arrived, and I haven't. I have so far to go. I mean, the integrity to yourself is your ability to be able to persevere when everything around you is speaking. And when I say speak, I mean action-wise. I mean the things that's coming against you. It speaks the total opposite. The roadblocks are there. And you don't know that you really have integrity to your vision until you're able to keep doing it in the midst of obstacles. No matter what anybody thinks, no matter what anybody says. Let me put it this way. How do you know that that's really your dream? Because it keeps calling you back to itself. I don't care how many times you want to quit. It keeps knocking at your door, and it will not let you go. I'm ministering to somebody right now. I could feel it. I mean, I'm not yelling. I'm not, jumping up and down. And this is my Sabbath. I'm in my home, in my quiet space. But the anointing that I feel is just as intense as if I had on a white robe. Because if we keep running around and rejoicing in the Lord and not allow ourselves to stop and develop the proper principles to get you to your dream, then you would just be a Christian that knows how to make a joyful noise, but you haven't accomplished anything. I mean, when I did that message, It's Time to Go, some years ago, it was just the fire that I felt of not wanting to be guilty, of just spreading the Spirit of God on everything like mayonnaise. Like I don't have to work at it. Just spread it on mayonnaise and God will do it. He'll fix it. Or, I call the mayonnaise syndrome is when if you don't accomplish it, everything is the devil. And anything that you want to accomplish, it's God gonna do it. And somewhere in that, you've left you out of the equation. You've left you out of the equation of what part of this do I have to do? What part of this do I have to work at? What part of this do I become responsible for as it relates to me getting to this dream? Somebody said, well, somebody prophesied to me and I had a powerful prophecy. But you have to war after that prophecy. You have to war after the prophecy. After the prophecy is given, it's like a host of demonic forces charged toward you. Demonic forces that have never, ever, ever thought about you. Because they don't bother anybody that's not doing anything. They don't care. Demonic forces are very structured and they're very orderly. And they are in a formation that Christians are not in. And we hear that all the time with, Beyonce in Formation. But they are in a formation that we are not in because they are ranked and they are structured. And they don't attack anybody that's not doing anything, because you're already in their purpose. And their purpose is for you not to do anything. Well, somebody said, you know what? I just don't know if I still have my prophecy, because, you know, I don't know if I still have it. I don't know if I can still go after my dream, because you know what? I just fell by the wayside, and I just feel like I messed up with God. Well, let me help you with that. Because when the Bible says there is therefore now no condemnation to those which are in Christ Jesus, once you repent and the Lord has forgiven you, part of the greater sin is for you now to sit in condemnation, because that offends the formation of God. It offends God for you to sit and stay guilty for something that he has released you from. So now you have been forgiven for the sin, but now you're sitting in Satan's formation. And that's the formation for a believer to do nothing about their lives. Wow. I feel this so strong today. I mean, I would never think about doing, you know, live Facebook in my house like this, because it's just private. It's just where I shut it all down. It's where I collect myself. But today, I know this was God, because we have to start now, right now, while the window of opportunity is open. You will get another time like this on the clock if God is favorable to you. But will you ever get another opportunity to be redefined? Because redefinition comes in the mind as a mental, a renewing of your mental faculties, and the way you handle business, the way you look at your life, the way you look at people around you, the way you make decisions about what is toxic and what is not. What is my real hindrance? An opportunity for redefinition is when you are allowed to go on the inside of yourself and begin to challenge and correct and rebuke yourself for not being all that you could be. And then sitting down and making the decision that I'm going to be that. You know, and people say all the time, you know, I'm going to my prayer room and I'm just going to pray about it. And so when the movie came out, War Room, you know, everybody's like, you know, I'm going to my war room and I'm a pray about it. And I have a prayer room upstairs. Long before they was calling it a war room, I've always had a prayer room in my house. And I have a prayer room upstairs. And when I want solitude with the Lord, and I just want to go and hear him, hear what he is saying to me, I go in that prayer room. But the room I'm sitting in now is my war room. And I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit in a few minutes so you can just see what I'm talking about. Your war room, it also becomes the place where you produce. Not just where you pray. In the Empowerment Institute that I launched, it's a school now. And we're going to be doing our first classes 4 weeks. I was doing Where is the P in Your Power? And I found out during the course of that weekend that there was so much information sitting in those words that there was no way I was able to complete all of the information in all of the words. And so then when the Lord gave me to launch the school in 4-week segments, I'm going to take each P and just labor in that, just labor in that. And when I got done with the 14 P's, I said, I know some of you all are wondering, why didn't I start with prayer first? And I said, I made prayer last because now you have something to pray about. Now you are in formation to the point that you know what you are praying about. You've spread it out the work before you, and now you see the direction that you need to go in. But how long are we going to pray about direction? when the leader of direction is already in you, waiting for you to take those steps that's necessary. Because it is your feet that makes the step, but it is the walk that helps you to understand the direction. So you just can't take a step. You got to walk in it. You got to walk it out. When I decided I wanted to dance, and, you know, I would go to the gym, and I would try to, you know, practice there, and, you know, because I didn't have a dance studio and whatever, and I would try to practice there, and people would come up to me all the time, you want to buy them? Can I get a picture of that? So the distraction of that wasn't really where I needed it to be. And so one day I came home, and I was, you know, really broken up about it, and I was like, I really want to dance. I really know that God is calling me to do this, and you know, and I don't have a studio, and I got up from my desk. I have a desk in my living room, and I got up on the desk to walk through my dining room into the kitchen to get something to drink. Did you hear what I said? I got up from the desk and started walking, and on my way into the kitchen to get something to drink, the Spirit of the Lord said, this is your dance studio right here. And I stopped and I looked around and I was like, this is my dance studio. He said, this is your dance studio right here. And I said, okay, so what am I supposed to do? He said, move all of your dining room furniture into your kitchen. Because in order for you to get what you want, there has to be something that you can look at to know that this is what I sacrificed to have my dream. This is what I was willing to give up to have my dream. This is what I was willing to be without to have my dream. And so right there behind me, that's my kitchen, which I turned into my dining room, and took my chandeliers and put it in my kitchen. And so whoever comes over for dinner, I don't hardly have people to come over anyway, but whoever comes over for dinner, you just gonna have to eat in the kitchen dining room, because this is my dance studio. This is my war room. This is where I do war. This is where I war after the prophecy. And I had to hang those curtains and divide off my living room, so that when it's time for me to dance, I pull the curtains and lock myself in this spot. And I had one of my friends to go and get some old pipes from Home Depot and make me a bar that was like the bar in my teacher, you know, in the classroom. Why? Because I was determined. And I think that's what I'm after today. I'm after the people that are determined. And I'm willing to walk this thing out with you. I'm willing to take you by the hand and take you step by step until you see the process, or until you get in the rhythm and the harmony of your own soul about your dream. I'm willing to do that. As much as I tried my best to run from this. I mean, it's like, oh, I don't want to be on Facebook. Oh, I don't want to. And the word of the Lord came that the very thing you're trying to run from, there are people that are sitting there that need your help. And so I'm here. I'm here if you want that dream. I'm here if you want to go after your prophecy. I'm here to help you during those emotional times when you don't feel like it. And the times when you don't feel like it is the very time where you are standing greater in the purpose of the dream, when you're doing it when you don't feel like doing it. Anybody can do anything when they feel like it. Anybody can be hyped about where they want to go and what they want to do and how they want to get there. But you know what? It's not everybody that can walk it out when you don't feel like it. Because when you don't feel like it, now you are in the power of the dream. You are in the power of God. You're not just in the power of God because you pray. You're in the power of the Almighty God. When he said to the children of Israel, I'm gonna get you out of Egypt, but I'm gonna take you by way of the Red Sea. Now, I'm going to take you by way of the Red Sea. And he said, because if I take you by the way of the Philistines, you may see and anticipate war and change your mind about freedom. Are you hearing me? So the Lord is taking you a longer route because he doesn't desire for you to be entangled with the warfare of getting there. So when I say war after the prophecy, I'm talking about get information so that you're in the right direction. And it may take you longer. But if by way of the Red Sea is what God said, then when they got to the Red Sea, he had a responsibility to open it. Because this is the direction he said go in. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing something deeper today about your dream? You're on schedule. Well, Dr. Bynum, it's just you're on schedule. How do I know that? Because you're here and you're watching this video. You're listening to me right now. If you were not on schedule, and if you were behind schedule, you wouldn't have a need to be here. And circumstances would have allowed it to be so that you would not have ever had an opportunity to ever watch this video, even if you're watching the replay of it right now. You've had a few bumps in the road, but it's not the end of the story. You've had a few mishaps, but it's not over. It's not over. Because when I was looking at this definition in my laptop, and it said here, preparation. Let's look at that. Preparation. It said that preparation is the action or process of making ready or being made ready for use or consideration. If you don't get into preparation, that's what you're doing now by watching this video. If you don't get into preparation, then you won't ever be considered. You may say, you know what, I want to work for a Fortune 500 company. But if you don't get information and if you don't get in preparation, you will never be considered. You're considered for an opportunity because you prepared for it. It says here, something done to get ready for an event or undertaking. It says here, a substance, wait, hold on a minute. Move down to this one. It says here, the preparation of a contingency plan, contingent upon. It says devising and putting together, drawing up, construction, composition, production, getting ready, development. It says instructions, teaching, coaching, training, tutoring, drilling, priming. That's what I'm here doing today. I am coaching, tutoring, priming, preparing you, schooling you, teaching you, drilling you so that you can be considered, waking you up so that you can be considered, giving you a shot in the arm so that you can be considered. It says here that it's also preparation. It says the teaching and the instructions of the preparation causes you to be placed in a position, occupying a space that is not occupied by anybody but you. And I don't care who you think is better than you. I don't think who you think that's I had to say that to myself. I don't care who could dance better than me. I don't care who got better moves than me. Do you not know during that concert, there were people on that stage that can dance circles around me. There were kids on that stage that were younger than me that can dance and make me look like I was just really need to go sit down somewhere. But guess what? When they put us all on that stage, they gave everybody a spot on the floor. And they told everybody, this spot right here is Juanita Bynum's. So if I jerked like a duck, if I fell over, if I didn't do it as good as somebody else did, I earned a spot because I prepared. And I had the audacity to believe that I can get on that stage in front of 3,000 people without a microphone and may not be as good as everybody else. But guess what? This was my preparation. This was my beginning. It was my turn and it was my time. And whether or not I thought I was perfect at it, whether or not I thought I was the best at it, I was not going to miss my turn. I was not going to miss my time, because my time and my turn guaranteed me a spot which says, I'll be back. I belong here. And that's the point. You got to prepare yourself so that an X can be put on the ground and you can be told, this is your spot. And what God called me to do as it relates to dance and the wings and all of what he had me doing, I had to come to a place. The teacher said to my classmates, don't nobody step in this spot right here. And when she get ready to use the wings, she's going to step forward beyond the line. And if anybody come into her space, you're going to get hit with these wings and you may get knocked out. Not only did I have a space with the team, I had a space to operate in outside of the team, because I prepared and did something that nobody else did. I hope I'm helping somebody today. I really hope that I'm helping somebody today. So how are we going to get there? Dr. Bynum, how? Okay, you say you're here to help us. How are we going to get there? Let me go back to something. Formation. Because I know you think it's some steps with Beyonce. I know you think it's some girls with some afros and some cute little outfits on and some high heels and doing it. That's one formation, but that's a dance formation. But what is formation? Formation is, I love this because it's very powerful. It says, it's the action of forming or process of being formed. A structure or arrangement of something. It says here that formation is the emergence. Let's take a look over there and see what that means. The emergence, the appearance, the arrival, the coming, the materialization, the inception, the dawn, the birth, the origination, the start, the development. You are the origination. He's waiting for you to be an original idea. He's waiting for you to start. He's waiting for you to allow it to materialize. He's waiting for your formation. Yours, not somebody else's. Yours. You're unique and different in your own way. Nobody can be you. Nobody can have your fingerprint. Nobody can have your thumbprint. You in a world and a class all by yourself. And you can do this. You can do this. But there must be an emergence in you. It must start from within you. Because if it comes from within you, it comes from a place that nobody can put their hands on it. Nobody can touch it. They could try. They could try to mess with your head. They could try to play head games with you. Make you think you're not good enough. But what they don't know that they're contending with your inner man. And though they may knock your thoughts out of whack for a few seconds, they can't kill what's in you, because that's the part of you that keeps coming back. After all that's been said and done, you keep coming back. After everything they say ugly, you keep coming back. After everything they think, you keep coming back. Because it's not from your head. It is from your heart. Because it's a real dream. And it came from a divine place. It didn't come from man. It wasn't a good idea. It was a God idea. Listen to this. Emergence. So then it goes back and it says it's coming into being It's the genesis. It's the development, the evolution, the shaping. Are you hearing this? It is the establishment, the setting up, the initiation, the institution, the foundation, the inception, the creation, the inauguration, the launch, and the flotation. Because when you cover all of these bases, you'll find yourself just floating into it. You'll find yourself just gliding. And people looking at you saying, well why didn't he look flustered? And why doesn't he look like he just, just having a hard time? Or why does she look like she just gliding and she just ain't bothered by nothing, and you just look like you just at peace? Because I'm doing me. Do you? You're only frustrated when you're doing other people. Because when you're doing other people, then they can control that aspect about you, because it's them and it's not you. But when you do you, you're in total control. You're in total control. The way you think, the way you talk, the way you act, what you're able to produce, what you're able to say yes to, what you're able to say no to. You're in control of the way you thrive. You're in control of it all. And you're not weak. You're not some weakling that don't know, I just don't know. No, you're not. That's who you have been made to believe about yourself. But you're bigger than that, and you're better than that. And every demon in hell is afraid of that. Every demon in hell is afraid of you ever finding out who you really are in God and what you really have the ability to accomplish. And that's why I'm here. And starting Monday, I'm getting ready to do something different. I'm reaching for this cord. Starting Monday, if you're ready, and I'm not talking about pretending to be ready. Right now, I'm not talking about hype. Plug it up my phone. Hold on a second. I'm not talking about hype. I'm talking about real help. And when real help is in operation, then you understand where you are. And you understand what God is getting ready to do in your life. And I'm talking about real help now. And real help is we're going to take this thing through phases. And starting Monday, we're going to take this thing through phases. And come Monday, I'm going to start a program right here on Facebook called At 3 with Me. At 3 with Me. And the first level of integrity is clicking in at 3. I don't care if you have to work. I don't care if you can't stay on but 15 minutes. It's the principle of being where you say you're going to be. It's starting to become integral with your own self. It's starting to make the same promises to yourself that you make to everybody else, and you never break those promises to them, and you always break promises to yourself, and you always make yourself last. And it's always about what other people want and what they need from you and what they got to have from you, and you're always sitting on the sideline disappointed because when it comes to your turn, none of the people that you have helped is now available to you. So how long are you going to keep embezzling your own life? How long are you going to keep on stealing from you? How long are you going to be the thief and the robber? Think about what I'm saying to you. You can't afford that anymore. You can't afford any more leakage. You can't afford to be drained anymore. You got to stop today and start gathering your strength back. Gather your strength back for your journey now, because it's your turn. It's time for your dream. It's dream time. And you got to do whatever you got to do. If you got to move into a smaller house, if you got to downsize, you got to do like I did and turn your dining room into your dance floor. Whatever you got to do. If you got to turn your backyard into where you practice volleyball, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. If you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning just so you can get to the gym, you got to do what you got to do. It's time to grind now. Because you're in the window of opportunity. And it may not come back again. Starting Monday. I don't care if it is a holiday, because dreams don't take a vacation. Dreams keep persevering. Dreams never stop. They don't. So starting Monday, it's going to be 3 with me. And we're going to go through the first phase of the first 7 days. And the second phase is going to be 21 days. But we're not going to continue the 7 days. We're going to back up and start with the end of the 7 and go 21. And then from a 21, we're going to keep moving. 14 days and then 21 days. And we're going to keep on adding 7 days. Why? Because the first 7 days we encouraged. The first 7 days we feel high. First 7 days it's like, whoa, I'm going to do it. The first 7 days, I know this is God. He told me that, and I know it, and I'm just going to trust him because I know this is a word from... No, that's what happened the first 7 days. We all in it. The 14th day, we feel kind of like, oh, I'm still encouraged. 21 days in, when you got to start from 1 and go to 14. And that 14th day look like it's up the road and around the corner. Then it's, oh, I don't know if I can make it. Oh, I'm sleepy. No, because there's going to be some days I'm going to come on here and I'm not going to feel well. There's going to be some days I'm going to come on here and I'm not going to be at my best. There are going to be some days I'm going to come on here. But you know what it is? It's about being present. It's about having integrity to us. To us. It's about being to us what we have been to so many other people. It's dream time. It's dream time. It's dream time. 3 with me. And we're getting ready to get started on this journey. And some of the P's is going to be incorporated in what I say at 3. Some days it's going to be me in the gym at 3 on the treadmill talking to you. Because you got to get ready. You got to put in front of your eyes what you know your purpose is and what's going to keep you inspired. I got a wall in here. Let me show you this. Try to turn this around. You see that? I have a wall in here, and this wall it gets difficult because I'm trying to manage this camera too, but it's an inspiration wall. And there's a girl that they did a feature story on that she is amazing. Let me take the cord out because I don't think I'll lose the battery if I get up. Because I want you to see this. I want you to see who's on my wall. I have Mandela right there. You can go to prison all those years and come out and be the president. I know I can pursue dance. And then I have a little card that one of my sisters gave me, Pastor Kathy gave me right here. This little girl, you know, doing football. I have a photograph of when I did my first dance at our church cantata. I know you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. Turn it this way. Okay. Okay. And then this lady right here, she's an awesome dancer. And I'm so inspired by her story. But can I ask you something? Do you see anybody fat on my wall? I don't listen. Listen. I don't want to be a praise dancer. I want to be a real dancer who prays. How about that? How about that? I have my father on my wall up there, and I have one of the photographs signed by one of the supervisors that launched the spacecraft that went into space. And his saying was failure is not an option. And that's the principle I live with. Failure is not an option. That's not even something I think about. No, I will not fail. No, I won't. I won't, and you won't. And you won't. And that's my wall of inspiration. At the very top, I have a sign that says, be awesome today. And that's what I pursue every day, to be awesome. Just to be awesome. And I know you will, and I know you can. And so, I will meet you at 3 o'clock on Monday. 3 with me. And if you're ready for your dream, I would like to see 5,000 people click on by Monday to say, I'm ready for my dream. And all I want you to say is, I'm ready. Just say, I'm ready. Just say, I'm ready. Because it's about commitment. It's about accountability. It's me being accountable to you and you being accountable to me. That's what it's all about. And if we want it as bad as you say you do, then now you got help. Now you got help to detox your life, detox your mind. Because I'm going to tell you something. Unless you have somebody in your life that's willing to make sure that you don't be around here trying to sell no crap cookies, you will never make it. I remember when I went into one of my dance classes and my teacher was Korean. And I left at 2 o'clock. One of the greatest stories I could tell you. I left at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And when I left in time for me to get to class. Class didn't start till that evening, 7 o'clock. And some diplomat came to town, and I got to class at 7:05. When I got ready to walk in the classroom, my teacher was shutting the door. When I got ready to grab the door, he said, "No, ma'am." And I said, "But no, ma'am." I sat outside in that hallway and I cried. And so when break time came, I went up to him. He opened the door and came out, and I said, "Sir, but let me explain to you. I left my house at 2 o'clock, and I left on time, and I was crying. And I was like, and I came all the way down here, and I drove here, and I'm determined, da-da-da." And that man looked at me and said, "Well, then I guess you have to leave a little earlier," and shut the door in my face. And I went through all these changes. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he don't know who I am, and da-da-da-da-da. You know how you cry that? You pull your whole card. You pull that card that's in your back pocket. And you know what? The next week when I came to class, I got on the elevator. And as I was getting on the elevator, and the elevator opened up for us to get off, he looked over at me and said, "I know who you are." And walked off the elevator. And you know what he was saying to me? "I don't care who you are. If you serious about dance, as serious as I am about my craft, then I'm not going to let you disrespect it. I don't care who you are." And until we get to that place that we don't allow other people to steal time and disrespect what we have been called to do and our dream, you will never get there. And so you got to stop it today. And I stopped on my Sabbath.